Into the realm of the PL-89, into the realm of the higher time, into the realm of, into the realm of, into the realm of the beside time. It is simple to sing the tune, match the sun up with the sun and before the moon, as per Psalm 72. The two calendars are one, match the moon up with the sun. Yaakov and Esav, Tikkun and Tohu, and with that our work is done. This is the PL-89 Gematriatic Quantum Thought Calendar for Monday, February 9th, 2026. It is the 22nd day, Yom Sheni, second day of the week, 22nd day of Shvat, 5786, Parshat Mishpatim, Parshas Mishpatim, Daf Yomi is Menachos 29. This is the PL-89 Gematriatic Quantum Thought Calendar. Two calendars in one, as the song says. The two calendars are one, match the moon up with the sun. That's the third verse of the song. The two calendars are one, match the moon up with the sun. Yaakov and Esav, Jacob and Esau, two opposed forces, and opposing forces, and Tikkun and Tohu in Chabad Hasidic philosophy. There's the world of Tikkun and the world of Tohu, the worlds of rectification and the worlds of chaos. And to balance those two worlds, and when we say chaos, it doesn't necessarily mean acting like a buffoon and being crazy. Chaos can be actually a very, very high light. It has to be channeled properly. But anyway, you could even say that mathematics are chaos. Mathematics represent the forces of chaos within Judaism, because Judaism doesn't deal in mathematics that much, at least not today. When I say Judaism doesn't deal in mathematics, I'm meaning something specific. I don't want to be taken out of. I'm not saying that Jewish people individually don't like math. But mathematical practice is not used in the religion of Judaism. Just simple things like measuring these manim, these times, and this, but it's not a mathematical, conceptual. You're not making spiritual observations based on mathematics. I'm saying not the majority, not now, and this is. And I'll just go to one idea why it's 90 days. This is 90 days here, this calendar. And there's 4 cycles of it in a year. 4 times 90, 91. Takes you to a full solar year, or it could be a lunar year, about 11 days less, 354. But this is Oved Edom. If you remember the story of King David, it's in 2 Samuel chapter 6, maybe? 13, I don't remember exactly. It's either in Chronicles 13, 1 Chronicles 13, and then 2 Samuel chapter 6, or vice versa. I could be mixing up the ones. It's like it definitely has to be 2 Samuel, because that's when David was king. 1 Samuel, David wasn't king yet. So it's in 2 Samuel. It might be chapter 6. It's the story of Peretz Uzzah, when David wanted to move the Torah from the ark from a certain place, and oxen were carrying this cart or something. It was carrying the ark, and Uzzah put his hand forth and he got zapped. Basically, he died on the spot. And so the ark, it said, was put as David placed it in someone's house, a Levite by the name of Oved Edom. And stayed in his house for the time span of how long? Exactly 3 months, this period of time. And that's the connection that I'm making to that, is that this is in Edom. See, like, the thought came to me, I don't know why people don't ask this more, but I haven't heard this being asked, but why is a Levite among the Jews being called a servant of Edom? Edom they were not exactly friendly to Israelites. They weren't. There were wars with them all the time. So why why is a person called Oved Edom? And I don't know the answer to that, but when you think into the meaning of names, you can come up with some ideas. And the meaning is, it's a Oved Edom, either serves Edom or a servant through Edom or by the way of Edom. And there's deeper meanings to that, and that can be applied today. And that can be something like working in mathematics within Torah is like, mathematics is a secular topic according to religious, like to rabbis and stuff. They're not taking mathematics as a religious spiritual discipline. They're not studying mathematics and numbers as part of their religion. But if someone was an Oved Edom, if they were working within the confines of Edom, then they'd be working within the confines of mathematics. And so you could have a professor of physics that would be a rabbi, and he would actually teach the Torah in a physics class. And I don't see that being done so much today. Someone who's teaching Torah is a rabbi, and he's teaching in the context of in a Beit Midrash, in a yeshiva, or in a Torah class, but he's not giving a math class and teaching Torah through that math. The only one who I saw came very close to this is Rabbi Yitzchak Ginsburg. He would teach mathematics to explain Torah, and he had all kinds of interesting ways of with real academic lectures, like college level stuff. Not that I ever took college classes, but it seems like it would be like with prime numbers and triangle numbers and number theory and really real mathematics, and applying it to the verses and the words of the Torah and the structure of the verses. And I remember one class he was giving where he said that this verse is a triangular verse because the amount of letters, it can be divided by 3, and like that's unusual. That's the Gal Einai approach. It's his path, but I don't see very many people doing that. So I would consider that Edom, because Edom is let's just say the non-Jewish world, and in the non-Jewish world predominantly you have the universities. Even if the university is run by Jewish people, it doesn't matter. They're still functioning within that capacity of Edom, of Esav, on that side. And so anyway, the point is that this work is the work of Oved Edom. It's an Edomite work. It's a work in holiness. It explains Torah. It explains Jewish things, but it's not using conventional Jewish methodologies as of now. So that's could be the reason for the time span of 90 days. Now today is the 22nd day of Shvat, which is the anniversary of passing of it's the 38th year, 38 years since the passing of Chaim Mushka, the Rebbetzin Chaim Mushka Schneerson, the wife of the Lubavitcher Rebbe, of blessed memory. And for some reason or another, maybe many reasons, I've taken very much into all the unique Chabad dates, like all the anniversaries of passing, even the birthdays of the Chabad Rebbes. Chabad is a movement that is highly messianic in its nature. That could be the reason. By far, I think they're the branch of Judaism, although some Jewish people don't even want to recognize them because of that. But they are the most, I would say, enthusiastic about the concept of Mashiach. So anyway, I have taken to celebrating these Chabad dates. So earlier this month, on the 10th day of Shvat, we celebrated the ascension of Lubavitcher Rebbe to the Rebbehood, the Rebbeship, whatever, the Rebbeship, the mothership and the Rebbeship. But no, the rabbinate, basically becoming Rebbe. That's what I mean to say. So 22 of Shvat on this calendar would come out on a box that's printed 27 on it. It's the 22nd box, but the box is box number 27. Square number 22, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Yeah, 22. So it's 27. And that would be the lunar number. 27 would be the lunar number for today. Okay? And then the solar number today would be, it's the 9th of February, so we're on box 36. So what you do is you add 36. So here's the process. You take the solar number, the two calendars are one, match to the moon, but the sun, as the song goes. You take the solar number, which is 36, February 9th, the 9th on the calendar right here. And you take the 22nd, you add them together, 27 and 36, what do you get? 63. That's how you get the PL-89 number for today. And how do you connect, what do you do with 63? You could do anything with 63. Anything that 63 is connected to, that's your starting point. So in this case, okay, I use a process that maybe not a lot of people are very familiar with, but it's called English gematria. English gematria is a very unique form of gematria. Okay, I was saying, I use a process that maybe it's foreign to many people, and maybe many people who study gematria think this is just gimmicky or not even reliable or valid or anything viable in it. But it's called the English gematria. And English gematria is the practice of analyzing the English language through numerical values in the same way you would with Hebrew. And I think that it's like the question is who would even look at it? Who would give it credibility? The only way you would give it credibility is if you saw some demonstrations, some examples of how there's some clear and cut perfect correlations in it, and would give you a second look. So that's really one of my main focuses. Like, imagine you're majoring in college, you're majoring in history, or let's say you're going for a liberal arts degree, or let's say you want to go into finance, you're going into even mathematics. If the closest what I'm doing would be in mathematics, but there's no course in it's a combination. There's no course in college for what I'm doing, and yet I really only am focused. I'm like, it's exclusively, maybe almost in an imbalanced way, but like in a super focused way. I'm focused on this one particular very narrow area called English gematria analysis, and I would think that maybe in the future, if enough discoveries were made in English gematria and demonstrated, and a paper could be written and presented, and then maybe at some point some college would offer courses in English gematria, or maybe like alternate mathematics, a branch of mathematics called gematria. But I can demonstrate tens of examples of the intentionality of the numerical structure of the English language that connect ideas when coming from the Hebrew language. I'm familiar with English and familiar with Hebrew, and I use both Hebrew and English gematria synergistically in my process. So let's take one example. From the Tanakh, from the Bible, we know that King David reigned for 40 years. David, D-A-V-I-D, King David in English. Now remember, we're doing Hebrew concepts and biblical concepts, but we're thinking about it in English. This is Oved Edom. This is a Edom working here. This is not you wouldn't hear a rabbi saying this. You might hear maybe a pastor say this. I don't know, or maybe someone who is a Christian scholar say this. But a rabbi wouldn't be talking like this with English. But a rabbi wouldn't be talking, let's say, about King David. But he would bringing stories from the Talmud, or bringing stories from whatever Midrash or whatever. But wouldn't be analyzing English. But I'm applying this process to the Talmud as well. That's the thing. Okay, so let's go back to our example. King David, according to the Bible, the Hebrew Bible, reigned for 40 years. He reigned for 7 years in Hebron, and 33 years in Jerusalem. Okay, that's 40 years. It's both in, I think, Chronicles and in Samuel. Is it in Kings? No, I think Chronicles. Yeah, I think it's in Chronicles and in Samuel. Second Samuel, I think. I think it's yes, I think Second Samuel. Okay. It might be in Kings, so I'm not sure, but it says in two places that King David reigned for 40 years. Now, you would think that, I know many people that think the only gematria that's really of value is Hebrew, because Hebrew is the real language and that's it. No. English has secrets in it that's undeniable and mathematically verifiable. D is the fourth letter. A is the first letter. V is the 22nd letter. I is the ninth letter. And D is the fourth letter. If you add up 4 and 1 and 22 and 9 and 4, add that together, it's 40. So dafka, meaning specifically in English, do you get the biblical truth? The English translation, the English analysis, the English mathematical result equals the biblical dictation. David reigned for 40, and David equals 40, but in English. David equals 40. There's many, many more examples just like this, but I'll give one more just to kind of balance it out, just to show that this is not just a coincidence. Everyone knows, if you read the Bible in Genesis, that the story of Joseph, that Egypt is a very, very big part of the Joseph story. Joseph is hated by his brothers. He's sold into slavery, and he winds up in Egypt being a slave. He is serving in Egypt. He gets thrown in a dungeon in Egypt. It translates to Egyptian ministers, dreams, interprets their dreams, and rises to prominence in Egypt and becomes the viceroy of Egypt. Well, what would you say if the word Joseph actually literally equaled Egypt? Mathematically, not even 1 point off, not one number off, exactly 73. J is the 10th letter of the English alphabet. O is the 15th letter. S is the 19th letter. E is the 5th letter. P is the 16th letter. And H is the 8th letter. That equals 73. Add those up, you'll see it's 73. E is the 5th letter. G is the 7th letter. Y is the 25th letter. P is the 16th letter. And T is the 20th letter. Add that up, it's exactly 73. How is it that Joseph, who has such an obvious connection to Egypt, numerically equals Egypt? And the list goes on. There's many more connections to that, but I can give many more, but it would take time. So I think that's enough for now to demonstrate. There's one more I just have to say. The Hebrew words of Adam v'Chava, if you add Adam is 45 in Hebrew gematria. Aleph is the first letter. It has a value of 1. Dalet is the fourth letter. It has a value of 4. Mem is the 13th letter. It has a value of 40 because it goes by tens after Yud. Adam equals 45. Chava is equal to 19. And you add Vav means and in Hebrew. So Adam v'Chava, 19 and 6 is 25. So 25 and 45 equals 70. If you write Adam and Eve in English gematria, it equals exactly 70. So Adam and Eve in English equals exactly Adam v'Chava in Hebrew, 70, not one off. So when you see things like this, you start to think, all right, I thought English was just a language because, growing up in yeshiva, you hear, in Hebrew, a horse is a sus. It really means the animal. But in English, it's just a horse is a horse. It's nothing. No. English is replete with meaning, replete with hidden holy secrets and holy sparks. And I'm not the only one who says this. I saw this, and out of all people, I saw somebody, and since I had my upbringing was in in a Hasidic cheder. I went to a Hasidic cheder and I learned how to speak Yiddish fluently. So I can understand. So on YouTube now they have people that are speaking in Yiddish. There's a Hasidic guy by the name of Meir Schwartz, and he speaks only in Yiddish. But get this, he has discovered secrets of the English language about the letters, the X and the this. He's talking about in Yiddish. I'm hearing him speak about it. And of all languages, you would think he would be like darshaning the Hebrew language, because Hebrew is is the holy language, and it is. I'm not saying it's not, but I'm saying that English is also holy, and many secrets in it are found in it. And so with that, going back to this, if you add 27 is the lunar day, yeah, and 36 is the solar day. Add them together, you get 63. If you write 63 out, okay, well, first of all, 63 is the value of the word 11. If you spell 11 out, E-L-E-V-E-N, equals the number 63. And 11 is massive when it comes to Lubavitch. Like Lubavitch Rebbe was, he raised to prominence in the 11th month. There was the Yartzeit Shvat. The 11th month is huge. Lubavitch Rebbe was born on the 11th, and the 22 is 2 times 11, and which is today, 22, and 11 is a big number. And if you want to hear about 11, go to Mayan Yisrael, Rabbi Reuven Wolf, and you'll hear tons of stuff on the number 11. So 63 is today's number, but 63 equals 153. And 150, because you add SIXTYTHRE, if you add that up, it equals the number 153. But 153 equals Lubavitch Rebbe. If you write LUB like that, all these things are verified. I have them in my computer. I can show them to you letter for letter. So Lubavitch Rebbe equals 63, and today is the anniversary of passing of his wife. And today the PL-89 number is 63. We're at 22 minutes. I think it's a great time to stop here. 22 would be a great time to stop here.